Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Tech Tajendra. And in this tutorial series, we will talk about Red Hat Ansible automation, and we will understand and learn Ansible in perspective of the exam 294. So in this first video, we will do the installation of Ansible. We will also configure the Ansible, and we will see how this connections between the managed nodes and the control node happen. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me first understand what is Ansible, right, in a nutshell. So Ansible is the best tool available in the market for infrastructure automation. Okay, so basically Ansible is an open source automation platform. So here in Ansible we have two main components. First main component is the Ansible control node. We can say the Ansible management node. So in this node, basically every magic is happening in this node, or we can say virtual machine or server. We are installing Ansible, and then we will run the playbook inventory. We will understand all these things in the details. Okay. So playbook is nothing, is kind of the state of the managed host in which we are having all kind of instructions that what we need to perform activity or what should be the state of the managed host. Okay. So this is the main component, main virtual machine in which we are having the Ansible, and we call it the control node. Another components are the managed host. So managed host could be the group of machines or could be the individual host. It is again kind of the virtual machines or could be the servers, independent machines, either in the cloud or in the in your on-premise area. Okay, so in this, we are making SSH connections from the control node to the managed host, and then we are performing and controlling these activity of the, maybe it could be the software updation, it could be the install new software, user management, file management, network management, anything, everything we can do, whatever we can do in the infrastructure via the automated step written in the playbook in the control node. Okay, so this is the all about of Ansible, and again Ansible is the agentless. We need not to install any agent first into the host. So that's the beauty of the Ansible. Okay, so let me go ahead in our lab environment how we are going to perform all this activity. So if I give you an idea, so this is my AWS cloud, and here I have having three instances. First instances is my control node, okay, and here I will install the Ansible and then configure the Ansible. Then I am having two other virtual machines, managed host 1 and the managed host 2. So by using control node, we will do management of this host 1 and the host 2. Okay, so let we go ahead, and I am connecting with my control node. Okay, so as of now, if I go there, here I am having one directory key, and if I show you, so key, I am having the private keys of my managed host, right? So to make the SSH connections with the managed host, that's all. Okay, now if we see here in my control node, currently Ansible is not installed, right? So that's why it is saying no such directory or something, right? So first we have to install Ansible in our control node. So how we can install Ansible? We need the sudo and yum. Either we can use yum or we can use the DNF repository as well, and then install Ansible. Okay, so that's all we require to install the Ansible. Either we can install simple Ansible or the Ansible Navigator. Okay, this will also install the Navigator and install Ansible and the Navigator, or we can give Ansible core. Okay, so I am giving Ansible core because I need the Ansible core modules and core Ansible. So I am going to install Ansible here in my control node. So it started. So you can see here it is going to install all these packages, right? Ansible core, and also it is checking the dependency. Python is the main dependencies. Ansible is required to do all these kind of running all kind of module and then making SSH connection, and also in your host, right? Your host there must be Python must be installed there, right? To all right for this all control activity happening there. So I'm installing Ansible now. Ansible is done. If I give command Ansible hyphen version. Okay, now here you can see my configuration is taking default configuration file from the etc directory. We are going to write our own configurations file. Okay, and then you can see the Python version, right? So it is the Python is the prerequisite for the Ansible, and some other things like Jinja and other things we will understand later. Okay, so we have installed the Ansible in our machines. Okay, and now we will be able to do the things there. Now here are few important things that we understand about the Ansible configurations file as well as the inventory. So inventory is going to be very important file here. In once we will create the inventory means we are providing informations of our managed host to the Ansible, right? And we can group these managed hosts in the groups, and then we can create the group of groups also. So in nutshell, inventory just informations we are providing to the Ansible tool that what activity need to be done on what set of host. Okay, so that's all. So first we are going to create a Ansible file, Ansible inventory file. So before doing that, let me manage our code in an Ansible directory. So I am creating a directory with the name of Ansible. I am moving to this directory now. And in this directory, I will create the file inventory. Okay, so for first, let me copy the content of my inventory file, and then I will explain you how it will work. Okay, so one by one, okay, this is the group, right? One first group we are creating is the local group, and I am providing the local ID, this machine's ID as one, right, 127.0.0.1. And here I am providing the private key file, right? Because as I told you, all connections it will make is the SSH connections, right? From machine to host, right? And if we are again connecting to the same machines also, it will be making the SSH connections. Okay, that's why we are providing this file. If SSH connections and file you are already maintained by some other method, then we need not to mention all this line, the SSH private key and the location of that, right? Only mentioning the server address is sufficient here. Okay, but in my case, for simplicity, I am providing that. Then I am having the host one. Host one is, as I shown you, the address of my host one machine, which I have created in the AWS environment. Okay. So here you can see this is the public address of my host one machine, and I have provided this public address of my host one machine. Okay. And same way in the host two machine. So these are the groups: local group, host one group, and host two group. And now how, and if I am having more machines in the host one group, I can have in, it means each line is will be representing the machines in the host one groups. As of now, I am having the one machine only, so one line only, right? If I wanted to create the group of groups, then this is the way we can create, means that it will be the group name, all host, and then colon children, and then we can give the group names here, right? So I am having two groups here, host one and host two. So these two groups will be the part of this main group, all host. Okay. So this is how we will create the inventory file. We have already created it. Let me save it. and come out of it. Okay. So now my directory is having inventory file. Now we need to create the Ansible configurations file. That is the main important file from which it will take the informations, configurations, informations to run our configuration. Okay. To run our Ansible. For it, we will create the file ansible.cfg. And again, let me copy the content of that file. Then I will explain the each meaning of each line here. So here we are having two groups. One is default, and another is the privilege escalation. So default is the default configurations we are providing to our file. First information is the location of my inventory file, right? From where it will get the host informations. So I have provided it, means from my base directory, code base directory, where my Ansible is running, from that home directory to the inventory file path. Then the remote user EC2, because I am using the this AWS. So AWS by default create the EC2 user, and that EC2 user is also the sudo enabled, right? We need the some user which is the sudo enabled. Only then we will be able to perform these all admin activities into the host, right? So that, right, mark this, that user must be the sudo enabled. In my case, EC2 user is the sudo enabled. Ask password false, then it will not ask the password. Role we will talk about later, but role is the very, very important things. And in the Ansible, we will talk about it later. So I am just giving the path of the roles, and we can club the different role paths here by using the colon, right? So I am clubbing two roles path here. One is my from my code base directory, another is the some other directory. Then privilege escalation is the again a very important things, right? So once we need to do some kind of activity, like we need to install a software into the host one, right? In that case, we need privilege escalations there, right? The user should be the admin user with the sudo rights, right? So for it connects, so how it will do that? Become true, right? Means the it will be the root SU user, super user, right? Become method would be the sudo. Become user is kind of root, right? So once it will make the sudo connection, it will be the root user, and become ask password, again the false. We need not to ask password via the SSH connection, via the SSH private key. We are making that. Okay. So that's all we require in this Ansible configuration file. Let me come out of it. So we have our Ansible here, two files. One is the Ansible configuration and inventory. These are the main important files we are having in our Ansible base directory now here. Okay, in my project base directory. Let me clear it. So, okay. Now the main thing, right? Now we have all the component required. Ansible configure. If I give the Ansible hyphen version command, then you see the magic, right? Now it is taking the configurations file from my base directory. Okay, so this is the beauty of the Ansible. There are a number of ways and the precedence how Ansible will work and will take the configurations file. If we are in the current directory and we are running the Ansible in the current directory, and that current directory is having Ansible configuration file, then it will, by a precedence, it will take it first. Okay, so this is how it will take. So it is taking my this configuration file. So whatever activity now I will do here, right, within this directory, it will be all the configuration will apply from this configuration application config file. Okay. So let me first see means what all host we are having connected with our Ansible. To check that, we can give command Ansible all. I wanted to see all host, and then minus minus list hosts. Okay, so it is saying that three hosts currently having, right? So in our inventory file, we are having three hosts, right? This one and host one and the host two. Suppose I wanted to connect my all host. I wanted to see whether this connection is happen correctly or not. Okay. So let me do the ping command here, right? So we will do the ping with this host, and we'll see whether from my this control node machine, whether I am able to connect with the managed host or not, right? So for it, I will give command ansible -m is the module. M means module. We will talk about it later. Ansible work on the modules. Okay. So I am giving module ping here. Okay. And suppose I wanted to check that, run that module ping on all the nodes. Okay. So if I give it, it is returning the green, means ping pong, means it the connections with all host is success. Okay. And suppose I wanted to connect with only the host one, then I will, instead of all, I will provide the host one group. Okay. So this module, ping module, is running in the host one only. Okay. So for this first topic, okay, that's all we are having. Okay, how we can install the Ansible, how we can configure the Ansible, how we can write the inventory file, and how we can check whether our control node is connecting well with the managed host. And later in upcoming videos, we will see how Ansible is going to control the managed host. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video.